AgWeek weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
Well, would this be the last cold front the region sees until next winter? Here's John with our agri-weather outlook.
Over most of the midsection, the heart of the North American continent, southern Canada, northern Great Plains, western part of the upper Midwest, winter has been a non-issue. 1 week of cold weather in January, a storm or two, but not much going on at all, and one of the warmest, if not the warmest, in recorded history. But now we're looking at a significant change in the pattern, and it's happening in the middle part of spring, heading us back into a wintry pattern. It looks like things are going to be active and they're going to be cold, which means places like the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa will be looking at snow chances and perhaps some significant moisture coming out of that. Let's start, though, looking at the jet stream pattern itself. The jet stream is finally beginning to become active, and a large low-pressure trough currently, as we start this period off over the weekend, moving out of the northern Rockies. That's actually a great big storm, and this will bring cold temperatures and snow to many areas of the Dakotas, Minnesota, perhaps rain and snow into Iowa and Nebraska. And that storm will gradually work its way east. Some of that heavy precipitation will make it up into the north woods of Ontario and Quebec. Meanwhile, the pattern will likely remain active. The second swirl later in the week will likely generate at least some chance of some precipitation into the Great Plains, probably a little bit lighter than the first one. And that one will begin to pull up some warmer air up the eastern seaboard. So the southeastern states will finally get some steady spring. South Texas will finally get some consistently warm to hot weather. But over the snow cover now that we have in the northern plains, it's going to be cold and it's going to stay cold. As we transition into April, it's going to be hard to keep things that cold, so we'll likely get some thawing days, and the warm-up will continue in the eastern part of the country. But I don't expect any really unusually warm weather. If anything, the next 2 weeks you could describe as being cold and stormy. Now let's talk about the storm systems. The first week here, March 24th through 30th, over the starting weekend, a significant low working up that'll generate heavy snow and rain turning to snow or snow to rain in the upper Midwest, rain in the central Midwest. A second system later in the week will generate mostly rain up the eastern seaboard. Some of that will turn to snow in the Canadian Maritimes. And later in the week, we will likely see a system or two coming into the Pacific Northwest that will bring the usual array of Pacific Northwest rain and mountain snows in those higher elevations. The first full week of April, still looking stormy, not probably quite as heavy a precipitation yield, with a lot of this falling as rain throughout the Midwest, either rain or snow or both in the northern plains and the Rockies and through western Canada, looking at getting more significant snow.